There's no such thing as an overnight success. I mean, my success has come over 6, 7, 8 years. I mean, if you think that's an overnight success, then 8 years is a pretty long night. I think what's different about me is that I always keep it really fresh in my mind of the places I've been, the things that my family had to go through to get here, to this country, this free country, to be able to pursue my dreams. It's shining. It took my father over 10 years from the moment that he applied to migrate to America. He was a Russian Jew. It was 1990. I was 5 years old. We came here with just the clothes on our back. It wasn't easy to just pick up and leave, let alone pick up and leave with 7 other family members, leaving everything behind, starting from scratch, coming to a country not knowing the language. They gave up their life and they gave up, their careers to allow my sister and I to have a better life for ourselves. My report cards would say things like, he's a dreamer, he's in the clouds, he's somewhere else, he's not in class. And I remember my parents actually thought it was pretty funny because they always encouraged me to dream. They always encouraged me to think about, what do I want to be when I grow up? What is that thing that I'm pursuing? And I think it started at a very young age for me. Together we can do anything. I always heard things like, why can't you just be normal? And in my head, it's like, what does normal even really mean? I know I'm not normal. One experience that kind of comes to mind is probably one of the more like rock bottom moments that I've had in my life. Several years ago, I was squatting in a house actually in South Florida, and I couldn't pay my water bill and I couldn't pay my electric bill. And in fact, I had to choose: do I pay my bills or do I pay for leads in my business? And most people that are normal would probably pay their bills. And in my case, I paid to buy leads to continue building my dreams. I have this belief, like, entrepreneurs in general, they're rebels. I know myself, I'm a rebel. I don't want to conform. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do the 9 to 5. But a lot of entrepreneurs, they have it backwards. They want it easy, right? Just because I don't want the 9 to 5 doesn't mean I shouldn't put in a solid 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour, 14-hour day if I have to pursue my dreams. Not everyone is meant to go out and run a business, but in some way, working hard and pursuing the things that you're most passionate about and the things that bring you the most joy, whether it's working, as a teacher or a fireman or a bookkeeper or whatever it is, you put your heart and soul into it, and it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you're making the world a better place. Between the ages of 18 and 21, I found myself down a path of a vicious and continuous addiction to drugs and alcohol that at the end of it felt like I had a full-time job where I was just chasing that next one, chasing that next high, chasing that next drug, where I was gonna get it from. And by the time I was 21 years old, I found myself dropping out of college. I had my wife, at the time she was my girlfriend, leave me. At the end of it, I was sitting in a jail cell wondering how the hell I got there. And the reality is that I had 2 options. My options were I could go down this path that I was on, which is a vicious cycle of jails, institutions, and eventually death. Or I could take this other path, which is start to really rebuild my life. And thankfully, that's the path that I decided to take. There's a lot of different things that people can do to improve their life. The things that I found for myself there's really 4. Personal development. So reading those positive books, listening to those podcasts and interviews of successful people doing the things that I one day want to be able to do. Number 2 has been mentorship. Just getting with somebody that's been down the road or down a journey that I aspire to go down. Number 3 has been money management. So learning not only just how to make a lot of money, but learning how to actually keep it. And the last one is time management. So I can be a lot more effective and a lot more efficient with my time. The message that I really have is that, if you want to really achieve your dreams, then just roll up your sleeves and get ready to get your hands dirty and get to work, because nothing comes easy. I want to be able to to empower people to take on their life, because they're important and they deserve to have everything that they want to have if they're willing to put in a little bit of hard work, a little bit of sweat equity, and they're willing to be continuously vigilant on focusing on their mindset and their growth. I know that things are going to get tough. I know that you're going to run into trials and tribulations. You're going to run into scenarios that are probably not comfortable for you. And I know how you feel, because I've been there. But there's always a silver lining. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and there always has been for me. Whenever I forget, I get back in the game. I remind myself. I get in a positive environment, and I get back at it. You can't expect positive stuff to be coming out of you if you're not constantly putting positive stuff in. Michael Jordan didn't become the best basketball player of all time by just shooting a couple of free throw shots and attending practice once a week. No, he did it every single day. He practiced. He formed really good habits, and he stuck to it, and he became the best. Something that I've given a whole lot of thought to is, what is the legacy that I really want to leave? And when I think about legacy, I really think about a quote by one of my favorite authors, Eckhart Tolle. He's got a book, Power of Now, and when you open up the first page, it says, "You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold." That is how important you are. And it's powerful, because I run D4Y Brand Builder, and I help businesses, small, medium, and large. I help them to grow, and I help them to expand, and I help them to build their brands and their social media. And that's great. But at the end of the day, that's not what's important. What's important for me is really to inspire people and to remind them that their story matters, and that their message here on earth matters. And just to keep it really, really clear that they really matter.